and the highlights of that would be really nice with Diego's couple of flips like there. Really looking really good, really strong surfing. It's good to see him kind of return to form after his problems in Chile.
Yeah, he always runs into a bit of trouble there, so
that's correct.
Pretty stoked, but right now we're going to cut to one of the sponsors' ads.
G'day and welcome back to the IBA Itacoatiara Pro, brought to you by GoPro. Is that correct? Am I doing it right?
Yes, Pride is the main sponsor.
Pride, and okay, there we go. And we're in heat number 4 of round 4. We have Roberto Bruno, Gugu Barcelos, Ben Suleiman, Adnan, and Diego Vieira. And right now, Ben Suleiman has a 6.13 quarter wave during that last ad break. We might go to that later with highlights. And right there we have Roberto Bruno with a nice little maneuver. Good way to start the heat. And Ben Suleiman driving up to the section. Whoa!
Oh, big
Whoa!
clean flip. You see him bounce off his board there.
Yeah. Jeez,
It almost looked like he could have regained it.
Yeah, I thought
had
he was going to.
Had a bounce and then grab it again. And
yeah. Yeah. You know, you see that sometimes, like guys like bouncing back up in the air and pushing forward. Like you have to kind of time that bounce with the wash, don't you?
Yeah, and we saw Roberto Bruno there do a nice clean roll. You can see he's a really strong competitor.
Yeah.
He's been around for a while, and
He's smart.
Watching him surf out here the last couple of days, you see him doing flips, little reverse airs, rolls like that, and he knows what he needs to do.
That's
he
right.
starts the heat off with a roll, and would you be pretty stoked?
You know what I think is really exciting about Roberto? Like I've been watching him and he's surfing the last couple of years, and he's really progressing. Like he's surfing a lot better, like trying like a whole bunch of different moves and stuff like that. Like the other day we saw him down the beach and did that reverse air, and you know, like he's kind of pushing it and stuff like that.
Yeah, he did a reverse air on about a 1 foot wave,
Yeah.
and we thought, what's he going to do here?
Yeah,
roll.
yeah,
and
exactly.
He's done this little reverse air, so he definitely does impress us, and he impressed the judges with that roll and got a 5.88. So he's in second place right now, and we're still waiting for White and Blue to catch a wave.
Yeah, and then we got Hamano just in the foreground. Probably a little bit disappointed with his chance, but you know, like the hardest thing about heats is just 20 minutes. It's not about who the best athlete is out there. It's about who's the best in that 20-minute break. And unfortunately, Hamano just really couldn't get the waves and couldn't kind of show what he's all about. Unfortunately, getting knocked out. And at the back there, we got Roberto in second place. And no, actually, we just got updated heat scores. Now Roberto is in third place. Now needing a 1.12, which is nothing, to move up into second place. We have Ben Suleiman in first place with an 8.01 total, and Gugu Barcelos in second place with a 4.02 to move up into first place, and Diego Vieira with no scores on the board as such right now, probably just waiting for a couple of 10-point rides.
All right, we have the winner of the last heat, Diego Cabrera, for an beach interview.
Hello, everybody. Now I talk in Spanish with Diego Cabrera, the winner of the last hit. Diego, ¿qué pasó en tu última manga? Que estaba ahí escuchando una musiquita y te olvidaste de agarrar la licra.
Sí, estaba ahí concentrado, escuchando música, pensando que era la manga siguiente, y cuando me doy cuenta ya estaban a punto de entrar, ahí empecé a correr, llegué bien, justo, muy justo, lo que un poco nervioso por eso de llegar tarde. y dijo, no puede ser que me esté pasando esto la primera, pero gracias a Dios salió bien, empecé bien, iba segundo toda la manga y viré para primero y contento. Terminó así, con fuerza para mañana, tranquilo.
Vale, ¿y cómo estás sintiendo en Brasil, que ha venido el año pasado y ahora te sientes bien, te sientes en casa acá?
Increíble, como en casa, porque el clima, la temperatura del agua, todo es increíble. Después de venir de Chile con un frío de muerte allí, aquí estoy mejor imposible. Solo faltaban las olas que estábamos ahí, no venían, pero ahora ya tiene. Eso es perfecto. Obrigado, Brasil.
Chacho, ¿y te quiere enviar un mensaje para la gente de Canarias?
Sí, nada, hola a todos allá, pasé mi primera manguita, esperemos que siga así. Un abrazo a todos, gracias por estar ahí.
Congratulations, guy. Back with you, Eric.
No, Eric, it's David and Benjamin here. Thanks anyway, Isabella. A great interview, and congratulations to Diego for passing that last heat. Here we got Dave Winchester and Ben Player commentating on Heat 4 of Round 4 with Ben Suleiman, Adnan and Roberto Bruno, Guga Barcelos and Diego Vieira in this heat. Right now, Ben Suleiman and Roberto in first and second place, Gugu and Diego in third and fourth place.
Yeah, Diego looked pretty stoked with that last win.
He did, and so he should be. I mean, like, getting that first heat out of the way, how hard is it? Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
sucks.
huge.
First heats suck.
You got to get the monkey off the back, otherwise you're in for a rough
Hot.
try.
And look at this guy getting that monkey off the back. Are you kidding me?
He just flips off everything, doesn't he?
Main ripping. He's already in the lead with a 6.13 and a 1.88.
And he came unstuck on those two left ARSs, so
Exactly.
he decided, all right, I'm going to go right, do on this way.
And
So
the big ARSs. I mean, he's a pretty light cat, like rapping with all them cats, and he's a pretty light guy, and so you can kind of get a lot of boost out of those sections, and he's utilising that to his advantage, and getting a 5.38 for that last flip and increasing his lead. And there we had Diego Vieira looking for a nice little left section, opting to pull out. Yeah, and you know, it's kind of, if you're in that heat and you're good at something, you're going to do it, aren't you? And try and get the scores you can get. Perhaps now he's going to build on that. He's got 2 good scores under his belt, and maybe he's going to look to do something else.
yeah, he's just really surfing to his strengths, and he dropped a 5.38 for that second ARS on the right, so he's got a pretty commanding lead right now. All the other guys have only sort of got one strong wave. Roberto Bruno's got a 5.88, but he needs a 5.64 to go to first. Gugu Barcelos needs a 3.89 to go to second. He's only got a high-scoring wave of a 4, and Diego Vieira from Brazil has only got a 1.88, but needs a 6.88 to jump into second place. So we've still got a lot of time left. There's 12 and a half minutes to go on this one, and Roberto is just patiently waiting out there for a
Yeah,
wave.
well, he's already got the 5.88, and he's probably just thinking, well, I'm going to try and get a 6 and wait for good wave quality, hey?
Here we go, the rider in yellow. Are we going to see an ARS? We want
You
to see
reckon?
something big. Yeah,
We are going to see one.
Oh,
Oh my God, that was a
he's
golf.
dropped his undies, done a golf.
That was crazy. Look at him.
He's pretty pumped on that.
He is pumped, isn't he?
I don't know what to say about that one, eh? What do you reckon, Benny?
I mean, the judge is going to like it. It's definitely some variety in the manoeuvre. Like, I honestly can't remember the last if I've ever seen a golf in a competition. So it's really interesting to see how the judges score that.
Can you do golf, Benny?
I've never tried, to be honest with you, but yeah, it looked pretty good. I mean, he was pretty clean, full rotation. What do you think, David?
Yeah, he's sort of off the side of his board. I didn't really think much of it personally, but the judges has given him a 4.63. It was a clean little golf, but yeah, obviously they thought technically an ARS is harder to do than that move, and they weren't really feeling it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was really interesting. I reckon it was really good on the judges' part to look at that and go, well, yeah, it's a new move, but is it technically that hard, and like how good is it, and you know, like they think about a whole new things. But that's interesting because I've never seen one, so that's putting a precedent on golfs for the future, you know. So that's interesting, yeah.
Here we go.
Blue skin.
Diego. Oh, blue skin. Nice clean roll, and he needs a 6.88 to go into second. So look, he's looking for a bit of help in there. As we see yellow, he is busy, isn't he? Nice clean ARS again. He just got a little stuck there on the landing, so couldn't really get out of it.
Okay. But guys, I'm just about to wrap it up. I need to go and have a slash in the bathroom, so I'll talk to you all later. But I'm just going to hand it over to Apple. Yeah, no, actually, Dave's leaving. So, no, I'm leaving. Sorry, guys. And so I'll see you all later. And thanks for listening to my crap, and I'll speak to you soon.
Again, Eric Apple back here, your IBA World Tour host, here for the GoPro IBA World Tour stop number 4. This is the Itacoatiara Pro. We went to Pipeline. We went on to the South Coast Crusade. Our third event was on the other side of South America. We were in Arica, Chile, at El Gringo, and now we have ventured across the continent, across the Amazon and the Pantanal, and here we are in the Atlantic Ocean at Itacoatiara, and it's good to be joined by Dave Winchester. Winnie, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, we've seen some pretty wild and crazy moves in this heat. So we saw Roberto. Then I just missed that, and it looked like it was close to shore. Look how foamy that wave is. A heavy roll. See him just buckled. You see him stick his chest up there. Let the judges know he really made that. I like a good chest pump sometimes. Just let them really know they can see your rashy. And he's in the white rashy. And when that wave was so foamy and so much,
Kind of lost him, didn't you?
Yeah, you can lose it. So he stuck that chest out and made sure that the judges saw that.
And Winnie, we talked about it with the other guys, and I'm sure you feel the same way. It's pretty impressive how, especially the Brazilians and Venezuelans, the maneuvers are able to pull off in these small waves, and these guys are able to do ARSs and flips in really small waves, which is very difficult.
Yeah, they just get a lot of practice in the waves, in the swell sizes. Sometimes they get good swells, but a lot of these guys come from places where they might not get the biggest swell very often, only a handful of times a year. So majority of their surfing is in the small waves, and they just perfect the technique of doing a flip in a small wave. So I wish I could do it.
Now, Winnie, you're kind of blessed because you're a rider who's known for your performance in big and good waves. And would I be wrong if I assume that you don't? I don't really see you going out when it's 1 foot and 2 foot and really going out there and paddle battling and trying to really put on crazy performances. Would I be wrong if I thought that?
Yeah, well,
Are you a little bit spoiled? You like to you wait for till the waves are good?
I really like it when the waves are good, but I don't really practice so much when it's small. But it's funny that you say that. The first World Tour comp that I ever won in Ferrol in Spain, and the waves were tiny. It was like
Really?
1 foot, and I shocked myself and maybe a lot of people.
You said, "I can't believe I did this."
I can't believe I did this. Like, so I mean, things can go your way, and I still am going to give it my all, even if it's small. But it looks like we've got a bit of swell coming. So here we go. Blew up on this left, and you can just see it's really heavy and a bit junky on the shore there. So you just got to try and get one that peaks up out on the back. But as I was saying, we've got some swell coming in these next few days. So hopefully this small stuff will not be my problem.
And I talked to Ben about his impression of the waves here when it gets bigger. Tell me and tell the fans at home who are watching the GoPro IBA World Tour about the difference in this wave when it starts to get, well overhead. How does it change from where it is now?
Yeah, last year was pretty crazy. I came about sort of 9 days early to Brazil. I wanted to escape the cold from Chile and just come here to the warmth and surf some waves, and it was just absolutely pumping every day. And sort of 6 foot plus, it starts to break out a lot further. It seems like the banks this year are a lot closer to shore, but I'm sure when it gets 6 foot conditions, we are going to see some really, really big wedgy ramps. You can't really see because we're right in the middle of the beach here, but there's actually 2 big mountains left and right side, and it just wedges across the whole beach, breaking the swell up.
Now I've also Ben said that as the waves get bigger, it kind of moves the sand around. The sand actually kind of filters back, and the sandbars start to push out farther. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll definitely see that happen. So the water's just going to suck. It gets pretty big rips here. Here we
this
see
right hand or some shape right here for the rider.
Roberto Bruno. He's going to give us something nice here. Nice little invert through the lip, and he needed that. He's sitting in second with a 5.88 and
That's
a
right.
2. So
let's give everyone a lay of the land as far as the scores. That was Roberto Bruno in red. He's in second. Up and riding is Ben Slimane Adnan. Look at this big ARS there bouncing off that foam. He is in the lead at 11.51. He's going to probably extend that. In third is Juju Barcelos and Diego Vieira in fourth. Did I pronounce that, Juju?
yeah, I think so.
I don't think it's Gugu.
It's not Gugu. But yeah, we see the rider in yellow. Every single wave he's caught, he's pretty much done a ARS or
He did a Gorf earlier?
Yeah, he did a Gorf thing. But he's he just goes for it every single wave, and
Look at
this.
this.
Big clean. That was really heavy landing Oh, he did super well to make
Turn that around, yeah.
He's going to be pretty excited. Oh, it's a bit bigger wave there.
It was
Maybe
Juju
the swell's
Barcelos.
pushing in. Pretty late drop. You have to get into these waves super early because it is breaking like a shore break. Yeah, look at that pulled back view. It actually looks like the swell is picking up a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And the winds have been changing directions. For a while, we had winds that were directly onshore. Then it moved to onshore. And now it's side shore. So the winds are really moving around, and that's probably a result of these mountains and valleys that we have here. For those of you who don't know, Itacoatiara is basically in a nice little valley, 2 gigantic headlands, big rock granite headlands that stick up and make a valley in the middle. And it kind of separates them from the other side, which is Itaipu, and that's where you can see Rio and all that. As you see, Reiner Red, Alberto Bruno from Brazil.
This wave looked amazing on takeoff. It looked like it was going to hold up, but it actually hasn't. That's Roberto Bruno in the red jersey from Brazil.
Now, Winnie, have you gotten a chance? Have you ventured over to the other side of the mountain over here to where where the fishing village is and the lagoon over here?
I haven't yet, but I think we're going to go in a couple of days.
Yeah, if you just go right out the street here and go to the left about a click or so, there's like a full fishing village, and it's all protected by a bay, so there's no waves at all.
Oh,
so you can go swimming over there. It's like a big pool. It's completely flat.
Oh, I love it.
And there's a lagoon there for the kids and stuff. There's a complete fishing village, and there's a church over there. And it's actually, I read about it, it's the second oldest church in Brazil.
No
It's called the
way.
Church of the Itaipu, and it's, I believe, 400 years old.
Far out,
That's a pretty old church.
Yeah, and I heard
And
the food's really good over there.
It's literally only a few hundred meters away if you go by the way the crow flies, because you can't go over that mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a photo on one of the filmers, Jeffrey Raw's Instagram, and he showed some really nice fish, and him and Amori went over there, and so they said, yeah, you definitely got to go check it out. So
Yeah, you can go there. There's like a little fishing, like a little fish market. We see a rider paddling. This is a rider in blue, Diego Vieira, looking for a roll, punching it through the lip there. So again, he was in third place. He's looking for a 5.41 to get to second place in advancing position. And with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go, it is now crunch time for these guys in third and fourth. That's Diego and Juju.
Yeah, Diego in blue, he just dropped a 5.58 for that last ARS, that really heavy landing just under the lip, and I was pretty shocked to see him pop out. So he's actually put himself in a position where he can advance now. So here we see the rider in yellow again.
Adnan. And
He's
like you
been
said, he showed
getting-
the Gorf and some different moves. And he's a little guy.
And he is getting really busy out there. He's got 2, 4, 6, 8 waves now with that last one. So he's pretty much done ARS off every single one, except he didn't make a few. So he's really had the pick of the bunch out there.
And that's what happens when you weigh about 55 kilos.
I know. It's a bit harder when the big boys around 75 have to try and do this in these small conditions.
75. What about when you're like 90 kilos?
No, but the funny thing is, I say this, I'm 75. If you've ever seen Eder Luciano surf 1 foot waves, he's probably, I don't know, half a foot taller than me.
Yeah.
I'd say even, and a lot heavier. Not a lot heavier, but he'd be in the 85. He's one guy who you don't want when it's 1 to 2 foot.
Yeah,
he
for
can
sure.
do big flips off nothing. So in saying that about the weight, it isn't actually, it's about technique. So yeah, he's unbelievable to watch when it's small, and I think that might actually be Eder down there coaching one of them in the blue shorts on the right-hand corner.
Which is exactly a great example of why, you and Ben just aren't good Australian competitors. You're not supporting each other. Like these guys down there on the beach, pointing, screaming, cheering. Man, you guys really got to get it together in these little waves.
No, well, I'm a few years younger than Benny, so I've just learnt the ways off him. So that's how the old boys have done
a
it.
bad
so
example,
I'm just following suit. But
I learned it from watching you, Dad.
No, they were there for me last year in the final, and I just say the crowd weren't too happy, and it's a bit of a ghost town after I won.
Did you get any threats?
No, Ben actually got a threat for cheering me on. He got told to shut up off one of the guys.
Really?
Yeah, so he got a little bit louder.
That's
Make
awesome.
sure they were listening.
So 1 minute to go here in this heat. Time is winding down for Diego Vieira and Juju Barcelos.
It's a crazy little heat. They only need Diego in blue only needs a 5.41. As we see him looking for this, there's not too much time left. Can he get in there? No, he paddles for that, but I'm not too sure who had priority. Is there priority system in
Nope,
play for this?
not until
No,
the quarters or
there's not.
semis, I
So it's
believe.
a bit of a free-for-all out there.
It is. And with these conditions, it makes it even worse as far as a free-for-all.
Yeah, you just don't really want a straight set to come through now. You see Roberto Bruno in red. He's in second, and you'd almost say he's coming across to see what the rider in blue is doing. Here he goes, last chance.
He needs a
30 seconds to go.
5.41. Look at this. Wow, ARS or Ben Slimane Adnan. And, you know, he looks so young. He's actually in his mid-30s, which is crazy.
No way. Must be his diet.
He's like 33 or something like that. He's my age.
Is he really?
He looks like a kid.
Yeah, he does. So he's had a cracker heat. Look at the time check for Roberto Bruno here. You see Edar.
Heat is over.
He doesn't know what's going on either. And there we go.
So, unofficially, your heat winner, Ben Slimane Adnan and Roberto Bruno in second. So, 2 Brazilians going home. This Diego Vieira and Juju Barcelos. They are done for the heat.